don't know, 8 out of 10 ship, 8.5. I don't know. I think it's great. Got 4 of those. Intrepide is even better, to be fair, but this one's like famous as hell. This one's in like a shit ton of fleets, and, like competitive games and stuff like that. So, Amazon Mercure, one of my original French ships as well. This is a really good French Gold Runner. One of the classics from the early days. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, okay. Okay. Probably the most exciting part of this entire lot is coming up. Although the Mysterious Islands super rares, that's exciting in there. And the Delusion, any 10 Master is just super exciting. But let's see a little glimpse of what I'm hyped about. But first, Ghostly Encounter, Philippe Dupersac with Arathiel, the original French SAC captain, Joseph Sissy. Got 4 Lenoir. I have so many Lenoirs. I think in New York, I think I have like extra Fire and Steel versions of him. And now we already saw extra Fire and Steel versions of him in this lot, and then, or earlier today, and then we got the 5-point canceller version here for those. So, holy shit. I got way too many Lenoirs. Alright, here we go. This was the main source of my splurging in this lot as I smash the camera. Alright, here we go. So before this, I don't think I had any Crimson Coast LEs for like the number 200s and above. So this should be most of them, I think. So Scepter, number 202. So I'm going to put that in a separate spot. Crimson Angel, number 203, along with the Resurrection Codex. So, alright, here we go. So those two, very exciting. So 203, 204. And we've got, this should be Viceroy, right? Oh, London, duh. Yep, London, HMS London, LE version of that ship, number 205. It's another limited edition. These are pretty tough to get a hold of and relatively expensive. So, Saint Michel, number 206. Oh, wow, this is fascinating. I've never seen this, so no wonder I've never known about it. 070, I'm assuming that's the number of the uncommon version of this ship. And that's really interesting on both sides of the hull. So I guess a third question of the day is, if you have this one, is yours just like this? So probably. It's probably a global misprint, if you will. But that's really interesting. Cool. Alright, Dead Man's Point, 207. Ooh. I don't think I've noticed this before. It's got like, since all these are like kind of like the ghostly versions of these, grayed out. So this is actually a pretty unique looking fort. Because the walls are like discolored almost, or they look like it. Like it's a cool effect, certainly. So, San Salvador 208. Very nice. Jonah 209 with the Requiem, of course. This is great. 210. Ghostly Vision. This is one of the weirdest things ever. So, it's basically just an explorer, but it's called Ghostly Vision. And it's got the silver-backed coins. This is just, I don't know. It's such a weird card. I've known about this for a while, but like, it's weird to finally have it. I didn't know it said France on the front of the card. That kind of makes it weirder, in my opinion, because it's clearly French from the crew chip. I don't know why they put that there. Like, normally they would put that if it said Explorer, maybe, or at least in some of the sets. I don't know. It's just, I think this is one of the weird oddities of the game for collecting. Like, there's almost no silver-backed coins on any cards. It's basically just an Explorer, but then it's titled differently. And it's got like the nationality in parentheses. Just such a bizarre, just definitely an oddity of the game, for sure. And this one, 211. French schooner. Bonnie Liz in here. 212. Very nice. Looks like I didn't get 213. So he was just out of stock on that one, I think. And then Ghost Captain Pirate. This is just so weird. This is strange to see after all these years, knowing about them from like the miniature trading database and stuff like that, and now actually having the cards and holding them. It's kind of an odd phenomenon, if you will, for me at least. 214, and then 215, the last one. Ghost Wind. Damn, they don't even have the text on here. I don't think I knew that. So this is bizarre. So I think this is a pirate helmsman, right? I'm pretty sure has the helmsman ability per like the master spreadsheet or whatever, but I don't understand where that. Oh no, it's right there. All right, I'm an idiot. I just missed it. But that's also, I don't know if I've ever seen ability text like printed below the extra coin on a card like that. I don't know. Maybe some other ones have that, but I think it's because they had to put that there versus the other ones. The generic crew abilities are more obvious when they're actually titled normally rather than Ghost Wind, which is just really a vague thing to call a crew. So anyway, so missing like 213 and 201 Deliverance, but go from not having any of the Crimson Coast LEs for the 200 plus numbers to having most of them is really pretty exciting from a collecting perspective. I think Holofern's on one of the threads back in the day. I think he said something about how the Crimson Coast LEs were one of the hardest for him to get. Nowadays, it seems like, not that it's really changed. I mean, they're still tough to get, but I don't know what LE set is the hardest to get. I don't know if any super collectors are watching this video, but Fire and Steel LEs are definitely very high on that list of hardest ones to get. I mean, most of them are tough, but the nice thing about the Rise of the Fiends ones that I got earlier this year is that they come with the factory set. And I've seen a bunch of Rise of the Fiends factory sets over the years. And that Global Mart Plus on eBay, they were selling Rise of the Fiends LEs for like $20 each or whatever, which is not cheap, but in terms of accessibility, the Rise of the Fiends ones are a little more accessible. So some of them are just like, you can actually like really hunt. You really gotta like just like start messaging people and like trying to like find them. So like you'd probably have to do that for the Fire and Steel LEs as far as I know. So let's finish this up. Commander Temple, great crew, super unique. Neptune's Horde, Golden Medusa, Bloody Jewel, 3 really awesome ships. Bloody Jewel again, Lakeborn Marine, really good. Ivory Star, oh, look at this. This is amazing. Ivory Star, Janissary's Blood, Fire Djinn. So 3 Corsair, 4 Masted Galleys, Tiger's Eye, their best ship. His Revenge, Espada de Dios, the Spanish 4 Masted Galley. Flip the crew over. Oh, there's a ship too. So kind of a random assortment here. 2K Vecro, Castro. I would say, I think Barbary Coast is just a really good set for named crew overall. So for ships, it's a little underwhelming compared to the first 3 sets, but for named crew and unique treasures, it's really good. So, and this is another reason why wine is really fun. I highly recommend using wine. I would just throw this in next time you play. Poseidon's Breath can be really fun. It gets crazy on 10 Masters, certainly. That's for sure. Let's see, Pride times 5, nice. That kind of reminds me of the Phase 1 Comics and Games order. And then Hades Flame times 5, very nice. And then Executioner times 3. And that's how it ends. So that's the whole thing. So that's the third and final box from Matt L. Caracas529 of the Discord. Highly recommend buying from him. Both Matts, Matt P and Matt L, super collectors. Highly recommend. Great time dealing with them. And highly recommend Hills Wholesale Gaming. Overall, I've always had pretty good experiences with them for the most part. So this is really exciting to get some new super rares. My first Crimson Coast LEs, getting most of that set. A couple other new ships there that I was looking for a while. So, of course, the Delusion as well. It's always nice to get more 10 Masters. And a lot of rares in these last few boxes too, which is fun. So yeah, the only thing left to do now, there's a lot left to do. So I gotta like organize and reorganize like all this stuff. from all 12 boxes and integrate it with the small amount of existing duplicates and existing unopened packs I already had in my current like Washington or Navy collection, if you will, and combine it all. And then I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to count. I'm going to do grand counts of of all the unopened packs. So I definitely want to document all of it. I want to know how many unopened packs I have from each set and how many total. And then I want to know how many ships I have total. I don't know if I'm going to really break that down by any metric at all. Probably by faction. I plan to organize this by faction rather than set because that's just always how I do things. Even with not just my punched collection and binders back in New York, but also like my original collection, but also with duplicates, I usually have things organized by faction rather than set. I do faction and then ship size, like English 5 masters are first, and then English 4 masters, and so on and so forth. Then after size, I do like set. So like HMS Lord Algernon, HMS Titan will be like the first ships in my collection, basically, like the first ones in the binders and the first ones in like the duplicate boxes or whatever, stuff like that. And then I just go from there. And then I do crew separate, and then I do UTs separate from that. This is how I do it. This is how I know how to organize things. So, and it's easy because when somebody, if I'm pulling duplicates for a trade, and somebody wants stuff, like all I need is the game piece name. I'm like, okay, I know where that is. It's like I know it's DJC. Like, not that I haven't memorized everything. Like I don't. Some of the stuff is faded since I probably peaked in terms of memorization in like 2018 or 19. I haven't memorized every single like cannon rank in the game for every ship or anything, and some of the abilities probably escape me for a few of this stuff. But I certainly know how to like pull from the way I like to organize it. So that's kind of why I don't usually organize by set, even though that makes sense too. I think it's because I'm just a player. So like if I'm a player, I want to pull from the English. It's like I want to make an English fleet. So I don't want to have to like open the Barbary Coast box and the South China Seas box to make an English fleet. I just like grab English stuff and it's like, here we go. So I think that's part of why. And it's just historically how I organize my collection, but I'm just rambling a little too much. So I'll do a pack count. I'll do a ship count. Probably do a ship count by faction. And I just want to like take pictures of everything too. So I mostly just want to take pictures of everything. I'm going to take at least a few pictures and probably a video of everything. Like everything I have right now in this current like second collection, basically. I have like 2 collections basically. So this current one, this like modern collection, which is like mostly vast majority unpunched. I'll take some pictures of like everything in one shot, which is going to be insane. And then I'm going to also finally make some like haves and wants, or basically a new haves list of stuff for trade and whatnot. But when I'm organizing, I need to remember to take stuff out for me, like duplicates that I want for a. I think I'm finally gonna start the unpunched collection thing. I've never been a huge fan of like having 2 collections, like one for play and one for collection purposes. But I'm such a. It's actually ironic because I would actually potentially need that someday, and I think I'm gonna start it because I'm such a player that I'm gonna over the decades I plan to hopefully play so much that I actually wear out my primary collection. That's mostly in New York, but my punch ships, because I think I'm eventually just gonna need to replace stuff. Like I've played so much, and it really speaks to how durable this game is that I've taken out the mass on so many ships so many times. There's only like a handful of ships that I've used so much that like the masts are becoming loose to the point where I should probably replace the ships. Like it's like Alva Corazzato, the Enterprise, which is my original American 5 mast from 2005, and like maybe like 10 to 20 other ships out of all like 800 plus punch ships. I would estimate only like a couple dozen at most ships are like so used that that they could use replacing. And I think I just reached over 450 games played, which includes like, I don't know, like 8 physical campaign games, where the hell it is, I don't know. So anyway, but that being said, I plan to play a ton more in the future too, hopefully. certainly hope so. We'll see what happens, but I think that's why I'm gonna maintain I think with this ridiculous quantity and the sheer volume of duplicates I have, I think it would be smart to finally like establish that I am gonna have a backup collection, or like an unpunched like collector's collection that I can pull from when some of my ships wear out in like 2045 or some shit. I'm just making the shit up at this point, but yeah. So I think I will start that. I'm just kind of reminding myself to do it at this point. So anyway, this was the 12th and final box. So thanks to all the sellers. A lot of this came at discounts. I did spend a pretty ludicrous sum on all this when you combine it all, but at the same time, almost all of it was either on sale, like at Hills Wholesale Gaming, or it was kind of underpriced in my opinion, like HMS Swallows for $3. I think that's pretty solid. So thank you to Matt L for maintaining that great collectors list and stuff like that. And then Phase 1 comes in games, so it's like one of the gems, because they had ships for like a quarter each in a lot of cases, so just stocked up on those. So even though it was out of control spending, it was also almost nothing I bought was overpriced. And almost, I would say very little of it was actually at like current market values here in like 2021. So almost everything came at some kind of discount in some way, shape, or form. So anyway, that's how I like to collect. So it is a really cool like dream come true to finally get this kind of like borderline like psychotic quality or quantity. I mean, so yeah, that's kind of envied the hoarders a little bit. I never needed to be one, but now it's kind of finally ascend into the hoarder, the fully super hoarder. I was already pretty much a hoarder. I just didn't really like talk about it that much. I have like, I don't know, a few hundred duplicate ships in New York, along with like probably, I think I had about 100 duplicate packs, or not duplicate. I probably had like 100 to 150 sealed packs in New York before I transferred some of them. I had extra room in my suitcase when I came back out here from leave, so I was telling Randy I started stuffing my suitcase with packs like a pirate. I was plundering my booty at home to travel across the country with it, so that was fun. So anyway, but I think I finally ascended to super hoarder status and joined the likes of Ernie Prado and both of the Mats and some of the other hoarders that this game has seen over the years. So now I think I finally, if I wasn't already in that category, I think this definitely vaults me into that kind of a status, whether it's good or not. So anyway, now I got to organize, reorganize, and distribute, and take pictures, and make lists, and count, and add to the halves list, or make a whole new halves list, and start my official unpunched collection and stuff like that. Have at least one of everything extra, and because I'm probably gonna use it someday. So anyway, this is unboxing the Motherlode. A reminder on questions of the day. If you want to answer them in the comments below, it would be basically, what was your favorite box of the dozen I opened? And I guess the answer would probably be the same, but which one would you most want to have if you could like receive it tomorrow? Which one would you most want to see in the mail and unbox? Which would make you most excited to get? And then I guess the last one is your copy of the ship, like Saint Michel or whatever the heck the pronunciation is yours. Have the 070 on the hull. Be really interesting to make sure that's not a unique misprint. I highly doubt it is. Most of the misprints for this game are, other than like miscut cards, where like the L and S segments are like way off, or stuff's like misprinted, like the artwork is all messed up. Other than stuff like that, most of the misprints for this game are like global or universal. So just be curious about that. So, or I'm curious about it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And this is A7X Fan Ben, officially a hoarder, signing off for now.